It's Friday in the game. The novel.
Friday, Friday.
Everybody loves Friday. Black Friday.
I don't even know what song that's from.
I just know it's a Rebecca Black song.
Hmm.
That's the only thing I know. Probably the only song of hers I've ever heard of. It's probably the
Are
most
we
famous song
what?
she has, except from her fans.
Are we wanting
Anyways,
to introduce ourselves? Hello, everyone. My name is Finware. I run Finware on YouTube, and I am on Fin_Mware at Twitch.tv. I'm on Blue Sky at Finware, and yeah, I cover lots of games, and I obviously cover Echo. And what about you, Terry?
you can. I am Terry Candlestick, and you can find me on YouTube. Terry Candlestick YouTube. And I'm also on Blue Sky. You can find me, Blue Sky, Terry Candlestick, bsky.social. And on YouTube, I am at Terry Candlestick 1921.
Go ahead, Raven. Go for it.
Hey, is this useful?
I look over at Raven as he holds up what looks like a porcelain canine doll of some kind. Maybe? Again, just set aside the stuff you think might be interesting enough to take pictures of.
Okay.
He puts it to the side and starts digging through the tub rather carelessly. Again. I sigh and turn back to the binder. I really wish Carl had agreed to come down. Again, he declined to help me, even after Raven arrived. But now I guess I have my answer as to why. More stuff is missing from the tubs, and I know it can't be anyone except Carl. The containers are turned the opposite way when I got down to the crawl space earlier this morning. On top of that, there were two more loose wrappers in the tub, along with a trace of paw up the torn edges of the missing page and John Begay in the John Begay section. The question, of course, is why would he be doing this? There's absolutely no reason for it, and the bizarreness of the situation makes it pretty much impossible for me to confront him on it. It's his house after all. Though if he didn't want me going through it, why would he have shown it to me in the first place? And he isn't even trying to cover his tracks. In fact, I practically caught him in the act just a few nights ago. He must know now that I'm able to put that together pretty quickly. I close the binder, deciding that this will be the last time I'm going through this stuff. If Carl doesn't want me digging up info on his family's history, then I'm not going to pry any further.
Hey, look at this.
Raven holds up a wooden train.
Bet this was probably the shit back in the day.
I sigh. Probably. My phone buzzes. I take it out, my notification telling me that I have a text from Leo.
It's me at diner for lunch. Just you.
For a moment, I felt a pang of guilt. He told me how excited he was to hang out with me this week, yet I've spent almost all my time here with Carl. Though, from what I've gathered in texts, Leo's been spending most of his time with TJ and Jenna since the link's apparently still feeling down. At least he had that to keep him occupied. My excuse that Carl has all the info I need for my project made my decision to spend most of my time here a little less weird.
That's you, Chase.
Hey, Rave. I'm gonna go, right, okay. What time? And what do you mean by just me? Hey, Rave, I'm gonna go out to meet some friends. Could you keep Carl company?
Okay, sure.
Raven seems busy pushing the train across the ground while attaching more cars. And make sure you keep that together. I want to get a picture of it later.
Now, need to talk in private though.
I sigh and put my phone away, patting my pocket for the keys as I head up the crawl space steps. Leo waves at me as I walk into the diner. I'm surprised to see the diner is completely empty. There's almost always someone in here. Something else is amiss too, and I don't notice it until I've sat down across from the wolf. It's eerily quiet. The usual rockabilly tracks aren't playing from the jukebox.
Eh,
Hey man, what's up? The atmosphere is unquestionably awkward, and I blame most of that on the strange state of the diner.
so apparently we have to go up to the counter to order. Jaundice isn't here.
Oh? Why's that? Leo shrugs as he sips on a milkshake.
Oh no. Sick, I guess.
It's then that I remember the story Flynn had told us about Jaundice and her incident. Though I'm not gonna bring that up because I'm sure that's what Leo's thinking as well. Well, I'm not really hungry anyway. What was it you wanted to talk about? Leo swallows so Leo swallows slowly, then looks down at the table.
So you probably know this whole thing didn't go as I'd planned.
I look at the collection of condensation on his glass before I speak up. Yeah, sort of. Leo frowns, as if he'd hoped I would have tried to deny it.
Well, it's mostly my fault. I should have done a better job of resolving shit.
Now I frown. Hey. I wait until he takes his eyes off the table to look at me. You know, you're not our big brother anymore. He looks back down at the table. We're adults, believe it or not. We make our own decisions now. Everything we're doing right now is our decision, our fault, not yours. Leo's eyes get shiny, but he smiles.
Eh, yeah, you're right. Guess I just wanted... Just... Guess I just want to go back, is all.
Hey, we're still young. You're talking like my grandpa. Leo laughs and leans back.
Mine too.
Leo jerks his head as if he just remembered something.
So, what the hell happened between Jenna and Coral?
I was actually hoping you could have told me that. I have no idea.
She keeps going on about him not participating. I told her it was fine, but she can't seem to let it go.
Yeah. Well, it's really weighing on Carl, I think. Leo swigs his milkshake, foregoing the straw. He wipes away the cream from his muzzle as he brings it back down onto the table with some resolve.
Well, I'm not letting it end like this.
Let what end like this?
Our group. You realize this might be the last time we're all together?
That sentence immediately forms a lump in my throat. Yeah.
So I'm not gonna let it end like this. Lynn peace that TJ, Jenna peace that Carl, you and me.
He lets that hang, and when I don't say anything, he coughs.
So, I planned something.
What? His hesitant tone is making me nervous. He looks at me, he looks me in the eye and squares his shoulders.
We're going to the lake tomorrow. Wait, no. We're going to the lake tomorrow.
He lets that sink in as I turn his words over in my head. I had suspected that this is what he was getting at. I consider my words for a moment, not wanting to say the wrong thing. I I don't know if that's Leo puts up a paw.
I've thought this over real hard, Chase. That day, what happened to Sydney, it fucked us up, all up, changed us all. Not for the better, either. It took something from us.
Leo pauses, looking to the side as if searching for words.
Dean, Sydney lost his best friend. And Coral has been depressed ever since.
I feel the need to speak up. I don't know if you can pin all of that on what happened. Maybe we would have turned out the same. He presses on.
DJ, he saw Sydney die. Saw him drown. How can you imagine? Can you imagine that at 8 years old? And Jenna, has she ever been happy since?
I shake my head. I always felt like that experience helped her in a weird way. She decided to go to school, leave Echo. He doesn't seem to be listening to me.
And you, I love you. But you did change the day it happened. You're practically a different person.
I don't have anything to say to that.
And me, I...
His voice catches in his throat. I close my eyes. Leo.
I was supposed to be watching all of you. I was supposed to take care of.
Leo stops talking, and I keep my eyes on the table while he grabs one of the brown napkins and wipes his eyes. When he speaks again, his voice is thick and cracks with emotion.
His parents never said it, but they trust me with Sydney. I think they blamed me.
No, Leo. He falls silent. For a moment, we both sit there and share our feelings of being weighed down by 11 years of baggage. A good 5 minutes goes by, Leo staring out the window. The afternoon sun turns his normally red fur almost orange.
We can't do this anymore. And this might be our last chance to find some kind of closure.
I take a deep breath, swallowing past the lump. Okay. He looks up at me, relief all over his face.
So, you'll go?
I smile reassuringly at him. Of course. Have you told anyone else? He lowers his ears.
No,
Oh, God. Are you going to tell them?
I don't know.
Leo. He does his signature shrug, paws out.
I really don't know how else to get them to go.
Then there's no way this is gonna be it. Then there's no way this isn't going to be a disaster.
Hey, we got to try.
I guess.
So, can you bring Carl with you?
I think for a moment. Oh shit, Carl has an interview.
What time?
10, I think.
Well, we'll plan around it. Text me the actual time, okay? Anyway, I invited you out here to talk about more than shitty stuff. What have you been up to the past 3 years?
And so we talk for the next 2 hours, catching up on everything. It feels good, and I regret not spending more time with Leo this past week. As we part in the small parking lot, Leo surprises me with a hug.
I have a good feeling about this. It'll be hard, but we'll be better for it.
I hug back, hoping with all my heart that he's right. Saturday.
Saturday.
Well, guys, short episode, so you guys. No, okay. Go for it, Carl.
Dudes, I don't know about this. That wasn't really Carl and Dude. Dudes, I don't know about this.
I peek into the bathroom, watching as Carl stares at himself in the mirror, running his fingers through his hair.
You look great.
Raven stands back, grinning with a trimmer in his paws, looking Carl up and down.
Tell him, Chess.
Carl looks at me, and I have to agree that he looks quite a bit better. You look fantastic. A lot cleaner.
Thanks.
He was a dirty boy.
You finally discovered soap. Yay!
He discovered goat shampoo.
They goat shampoo. It's a cheering kids from the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. Now, take a shower.
Before Carl can say anything, Raven shoves the mall bag into Carl's chest before slamming the door in his face.
Man,
Take a shower, you stinky boy.
this is going to be great. If the interview was based on looks alone, he'd have that job locked.
Yeah, probably. And so with that, we move to the living room and wait. Half an hour later, Carl shuffles in quietly. We don't even know he's there until he clears his throat.
So, how does it look? My boy looks cleaner. Good. Look at that.
Yeah, I know. He looks good, but I'm more concerned with the fact that he looks more insecure than I've ever seen him. He shifts from hoof to hoof, not making eye contact at all. His fingers pulling at the rolled up sleeves.
Oh my god, that looks fantastic! There's no way you won't get that job now!
Raven sounds genuine enough, but then again, he's always excited. Carl looks over at me and I give a start, realizing how bad my silence must have seemed. You look great, Carl.
What?
Raven chuckles and Carl's eyes widen.
What? A beanie? Do you always wear that thing?
Carl lifts a paw to it.
Usually. You can't wear that. How did you even get it on? It's stretchy, and my head fur looks awful. Seriously, you can't wear a beanie to an interview.
Carl's getting all fidgety again, so I butt in.
Wear it or don't wear it.
Well, I mean, it's just him concealing himself more, so...
He's already uncomfortable as hell. Should we just go full on into, dude, just change your identity? Or should we just be like, if you really need to wear it?
I mean, it's just a hat. It's not that big of a deal.
Is it probably the most unprofessional hat that there is, aside from like something ridiculous, like a
I mean,
wizard hat.
no, not necessarily. Not a toque. I mean, it's not that bad.
So would you
But
say,
I mean, he could decide that. But I mean, it just depends, right? It's like, what kind of a job is he getting?
it was going to be like a print shop where he's going into just, uh, be like a clerk or something, someone at the desk. Basically, the print shop at, print department at Walmart, basically. Only this is like a dedicated printing shop.
I mean, that should be fine.
Also, it does kind of match his pants, his slacks. So
Yeah, and we haven't actually seen him without his hat on. So, have we?
I don't think so.
I think he even sleeps in that thing.
I think he does.
So.
The chaser just go up and sniff it. Be like,
Ugh.
ugh, dude, do you ever wash this? When I wash myself, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it just smells like shampoo.
I kind of just rub my horns, or I kind of just wash my horns around it. It gets wet.
Yeah.
Like,
And I mean,
nothing
like,
but
the whole
mold
reason his
underneath it.
hair probably looks bad is because
He never wash.
he wears the beanie all the time.
Yeah. Like, if you take
And there's the
beanie
other
off-
thing, which is that I mean, it'd be pushing it too fast potentially, but like part of Carl growing is him stopping hiding. Is him not hiding anymore. So, I mean, that's something.
Yeah, you want him to kind of come out. He's
Yeah.
already kind of uncomfortable. He's out of his comfort zone. His comfort zone is being in his room and like just his sweater and being in his beanie.
And his beanie probably smells like pot.
It definitely smells like pot. So
Yeah, we probably don't want him walking into a print shop smelling like weed.
yeah,
So
definitely
let's
don't wear it.
at least for the interview, don't wear it.
Yeah, at least for the interview, don't wear it.
Yeah, don't wear it.
Don't wear it.
Carl, that's a really bad idea for a job interview.
Oh, come on!
He looks sad and angry at the same time, which gives me pause.
I'll wear it if I want. This is my interview.
After a couple of seconds of silence, Raven coughs. Raven looks at me, then back to Carl.
Well, all right.
Carl sighs and shifts around again. We watch him expectantly.
Dudes, this feels weird, is all. It's new. You'll get used to it.
I pull out my phone and look at the time. All right, we really need to head out. We should get there early. As we head to the door, Raven makes as if to follow us. I kick myself for forgetting to talk to him earlier. I turn around and face him as Carl heads out the door. Hey, Raven? He stops.
What's up?
So, after the interview, me and Carl and our other friends, we're going to be doing something. Raven raises his brows.
Oh?
Oh, it's not that we don't want you to come. I really thought I really though I really wouldn't mind his being his upbeat attitude. Though I really wouldn't mind having his upbeat attitude present at what would surely be the biggest downer of the week. It's just that it's really personal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, seriously, you wouldn't want to come. We're going to be talking about some heavy shit. Raven seems to perk up a little at that.
Oh. Well, I wouldn't want to intrude. I'll just hang out here then.
Yeah, we'll be back soon, okay?
Sounds good. But you have to let me know how the interview goes. I know he's going to do amazing.
I will, and he will. See you in a few. Carl looks confused as I come out to the car alone.
Where's Raven? You're not going to just leave him at my house unattended. He's going to crap on the floor.
Yeah, don't worry. It's okay, Carl. We put down enough newspapers. It should be fine.
Yeah, if we come back and find anything, we'll just put some toilet paper over it. Just like a little teepee, just in the middle of the floor. Don't step on that.
I sit down and make a show of buckling my seatbelts. So I wanted to tell you this after the interview, so you didn't have more to stress out over.
What?
I pause as I back out, pretending to be distracted so I can gather my thoughts. So, Leo wants us to meet up at the lake.
The lake? The lake?
Yeah.
Why?
Closure, he says. Carl stays quiet as we drive through Echo, and I swerve to avoid all the potholes. As I'm merging onto the highway, he finally speaks up.
I think that's a good idea. Like, we've been sitting on this for how long? We should do it while we got the chance.
I nod my agreement. I just hope everyone else feels the same. We fall back into silence, and it stays that way for the remaining 20-minute drive. Carl gets more nervous as we get the closer we get. I can see his knees bouncing out of the corner of my eye as he stares out the window. I reach out and put a paw on his shoulder as we pull into the parking lot of the print shop. You look awesome, and you're gonna do amazing. Carl starts taking deep breaths, staring out the windshield. Just be yourself. Everyone loves a relaxed employee.
Wish you'd let me have a smoke before we left.
Yeah, go to an interview smelling like pot. Great idea. Carl giggles nervously, but otherwise doesn't move. Do you want me to go in with you? You want me to hold your hand? Be like, hi, this is Carl.
He's not my son, but it's close enough. He's my little insecure boy. He's afraid of fans.
And look at this. He can even pick up an entire printing press by himself.
He knows his way around computers.
He can pick up an entire engine block and walk around with it. Look at those muscles.
He can ride his bicycle with no handlebars. No handlebars. No handlebars.
Carl shakes his head quickly, unbuckling his seatbelt as he opens the car door.
No, man, I'll be fine.
Okay, cool. I'll be waiting. I grin at him as he shuts the door and ambles up to the print shop. He pushes on the doors and, when they don't move, he pushes harder, shaking the glass. I start to open my door to tell him to pull instead, but he seems to have already figured it out before I have to, and disappears inside. Oh, Carl. Then I sit back and wait. I tried to take a nap since I'd been up all night with Raven and Carl gaming, but the heat beating down through the windows is becoming too uncomfortable. I turn the AC back on and shuffle through the stations, but I only find the twangy country and mariachi. I look at the time. 10:10 a.m. If the interview started on time, then he was probably almost done with it by now. I sort of want to go inside, but I know Carl wouldn't want me to. I settle back again and close my eyes, trying to get some relief from the failing AC. Then the door rattles and I hear haphazard footsteps. My eyes open, but there's no one there. I do catch some movements disappearing around the side of the store, and I lean around to get a better look. I wait, but Carl, at least I think it was Carl, doesn't come back from around the corner. Looking around, I slowly open my door. Carl? Nothing. Carl! I yell it, but he still doesn't come out. Feeling some dread build up in my stomach, I get out of the car and slowly walk around to the side of the building. It's an alley between the print shop and what I think is a laundromat. Nothing is in the alley except for a few dumpsters and clumps of garbage. I step carefully around puddles covered in oil slick and wonder if maybe he just really wanted to smoke. Carl? Something shifts on the other side of one of the dumpsters, and I hear sniffling. Wordlessly, I walk around the dumpster to the other side. Carl is bent over, his back to me, paws on his knees. His whole body is shaking and his breaths are ragged. Holy shit, Carl? I'm at his side instantly, rubbing his back. What happened? Are you alright? The stench of vomit hits my nose, and I don't need to look closely to know that what the puddle between Carl's hooves are. Carl makes sure to turn his face away from me, not saying a word. Shit. I dash back to the car and open the passenger door so I can get to the glove box. I pull a few napkins out before hurrying back to the ram. He takes them from me wordlessly and starts wiping his face. The last time I'd seen Carl like this was just last year. When he'd had his panic attack at school. I didn't think he'd have that problem now, after all the therapy and time away. I try to rub his back comfortingly, in a clockwise motion like my mom would do for me. He's at least not hyperventilating. He has his horns pressed up against the wall, taking deep breaths as he wipes his face again.
Why do I suck at everything?
He says it quietly, between gasps, but I can make it out. No, Carl, you're fine. Let's just get you home. I start to pull on his arm, but he yanks it from me violently.
Don't touch me!
I'm stunned into silence. I just stare at him, mouth open. He glances at me and his eyes are red, and for once, it's not because of weed. Carl starts off towards the car on his own, spitting off to the side as he does. Carl, what happened? He whirls on me. I fucked.
I fucked. I fucked him right in the mouth.
Yeah, baby.
I fucked up. Obviously. Any more fucking questions?
His voice breaks apart on the last sentence, and he turns away from me as his face starts to screw up. My stomach feels hollow as I watch Carl get into my car. Never, ever seen him like this. He immediately hunches forward, paws on his head in his paws. I slowly walk up to the driver's side door, feeling like crying myself. I sit there for a while, waiting to see if Carl is going to say anything. He does.
I'm sorry.
He blurts it out through his fingers. I look over at him, scared to say anything in case I say the wrong thing.
It was a disaster, man.
He takes a deep breath. He takes a deep, shuddering breath.
I could tell I wasn't into it right away. It was awkward as fuck.
He leans back and tugs at his shirt.
This shit isn't me. He knew it, and he got me nervous. I've been nervous ever since I got my clothes. Ever since I got the stupid trim.
At that moment, it feels as if I'd been punched in the stomach. I'm just now remembering the conversation we had on Wednesday. I closed my eyes for a moment, not wanting to believe I had become exactly what he said I wasn't, what he liked me for not being. I sit there in silence for a long, long time until Carl finally looks at me and smiles.
God damn it. We both knew this was gonna happen, didn't we?
I don't know, man.
Fuck me very much for taking it out on.
It's sort of my fault.
Nope, I'm the one that screwed up the interview.
Carl settles back in his seat.
Well, with that fuck up out of the way, on to the next one.
I forced a smile. You sure you still want to go?
Hell no. But I don't think we have much of a choice.
I sigh, looking out at the hazy horizon, in the direction of where I know Echo is. Can't wait. So with that, I turn on the ignition and pull out of the parking lot, leaving the print shop and its alley far, far behind us. Leo, TJ, Flynn, and Jenna are all gathered around the picnic table. It's set out neatly on concrete in front of the rocky shore of the lake. None of this existed when we were kids. In fact, it didn't exist when I left. Echo is trying really hard to stay alive. I don't need to get out of the car to gauge the mood my friends are in. Their shoulders slumped, faces turned away from each other. As I park, Leo's ears perk, and he turns to wave at us. I take a deep breath and turn to Carl. You ready?
Nope.
Nevertheless, he opens his door and steps out, and I do the same. The sun beats down on us, but being this close to the lake cools things down a bit.
Alright,
As we
so
approach,
sorry, before we go on, who's doing who again? Because I think I'm doing Leo and Flynn and Carl. Are you doing TJ and Jenna?
yeah,
And Chase?
I think I'm doing Chase, TJ, and Jenna.
Okay. I just forgot who it was.
Yeah.
Okay, go for
Plus,
it.
it's just an even split.
Yeah.
Plus, the thing about Carl, like, I don't think Carl has quite come to the realization that every time you fuck up, you learn to not fuck up the same way.
Yeah,
So,
hopefully
like,
you learn
fucking
from your
up's kind of a
mistakes.
good thing.
Yeah. It just is painful because it hurts your pride, and he probably feels like it's the same old story, which I felt like before. Is like, oh, I
Yeah,
fucked up again, and it's like, I'll never stop failing. That's kind of like the mentality that he's probably in.
yeah, that feeling of hopelessness,
Mm-hmm.
where it's that belief that he'll never get ahead. Meanwhile, his parents could literally be like, "All right, Carl, here's a job at this
Yeah,
ice cream place that we own.
yeah, literally,
It will
they
pay
could
you."
do that.
Yeah,
Actually,
literally, I could be like, "Here you go. Good luck."
it's the manager of the ice cream shop,
he is the yeah he is the
the
he is
ramager,
the he is the he is the factory overseer
or the
of
production.
some factory.
Yeah, the
What does the
production
factory
manager.
overseer do? Yeah, and it's just like, what does the factory overseer do? Nothing. They basically just learn what the manager does.
Oh, okay. No, I think he would just be like the the lead taste tester. He just tastes everything that comes out. He just does nothing getting off the floor. Why are all the
his
boxes still empty?
Eventually his sprite looks larger than how Jaundic's is supposed to look.
It's as big as jaundice.
As we approach, I see Leo with his butt up against the edge of the table while TJ sits next to him. Jenna sits next to TJ while Flynn sits across from Jenna. When Flynn turns around, he immediately zeroes in on Carl.
What the hell happened to you? Drugs, drugs, sex, and alcohol. Drugs, sex, and rock and roll. Out of order, bud. No, I just put it in the appropriate descending order.
Flynn rolls his eyes, then looks at me.
Hey, fuckboy. Maybe you can talk some fucking sense into this idiot.
Leo's ears are flat, but he doesn't look at Flynn.
Glad you guys could make it.
Sure. Carl sits down next to Flynn, and I sit on Carl's other side, across from TJ. The silence that follows is possibly the most awkward one of the week. Flynn snickers.
See? This is stupid.
How about we let it actually happen, Flynn, instead of using every moment to take shots at people? Jenna's tone is icy. She hasn't even acknowledged me or Carl. TJ, meanwhile, keeps his head down, poking a sharp claw into the soft wood of the table. Flynn shrugs and starts to do his trademark "I don't give a fuck" lean back pose. But gives a start when he realizes that there isn't a backing on the bench.
Well, we've been sitting here for the past 20 minutes and nothing's happened. Maybe you want to start us off?
Flynn sighs.
Well, we could talk about how I never agreed to this shit. How Leo's a complete fucking idiot for forcing this to happen, and what I wonder, and that I wonder what he thought this would actually accomplish. It's a start, I guess.
Flynn sets his jaw.
Of course, talk that would actually get us somewhere wouldn't be from me, and he's not talking.
The temperature seems to lower in The temperature seems to lower in the impossibly hot air, and I don't look at TJ to see how he reacts. After a brief silence, Leo speaks up.
How about we start with you, Flea?
Flynn looks at Leo, brows raised.
How do you feel about what happened?
Tell me about your childhood.
Lay down on my couch.
Quite literally, tell me about your childhood.
The childhood I saw happen. By the way.
And when you saw an otter floating in the lake, wondering what the fuck happened. I see Flynn clench his jaw.
What?
His tone sends shivers down my spine, and I feel Carl tense up next to me. I look out across the lake, the shimmering reflections blinding me.
You never talked about it. Maybe it'll help.
Sweat pours down the back of my neck, builds up in my underarms. Even with the wind coming off the lake, it's way too hot.
By telling you how the fuck I feel? How the fuck do you think I feel?
Flynn screams it, and TJ jumps in front of me.
You're just gonna keep burying your whole life? You're just gonna keep it buried your whole life, Grubble?
I think about the time I used to come down to this spot every day, skip rocks with Jenna and TJ.
So this is your plan? To fucking get us over this? By fucking making fun of me? Not making fun of you, I'm trying to help. Taunting someone who's felt like shit for a decade is a pretty weird way of helping.
TJ, guys. Please, guys.
Don't you even fucking talk right now.
Don't you dare talk to him like that. We all went through this.
Calm down, Flynn.
The table shakes as Flynn slams his fist down on the wood, snarling and standing up.
Tell me to calm down one more fucking...
Just shut the hell up. I stand up. Everyone turns to look at me, including Flynn. I don't say anything. Instead, I just strip off my shirt.
The hell are you doing?
I don't answer him. Instead, I take off my belt and slide off my pants so that I'm only left in boxers. Without a word, I bend over on the table.
In front of Flynn. Get all that anger out, buddy.
I guess that's one way to calm down Tops, right? Without a word, I head to the lake.
Bend over in front of Flynn. Work out all that anger, buddy.
It's about 100 yards from the table to the lake, and while most of the way there is sand, a good stretch of it is pointy rocks. I make my way carefully over this section, remembering the numerous cuts I'd gotten as a kid. I don't look back until I'm right at the water's edge, and when I do, I see Leo following me, in the process of taking his own shirt off. The rest of them are still sitting at the table, but I don't care because this is really just for me. I step into the water and sigh at how cool it is before I wade out further. Once I'm waist deep, I dive under the water and pop up several feet further away from shore. I'm neck deep at this point, and I look back and I can see Carl now, standing at the lake's edge, paws deep in his pockets. Behind him, Jenna is helping TJ across the rocks. Only Flynn remains behind at the table, watching us all. Leo's up to his chest at this point, and I swim in a circle around him, before diving under, then popping up right in front of him.
Oh, sneaky otter.
He's just Dracula.
Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa. I'm Leo. I'm Leo Ottula.
And I am not a vampire. Bree! Those of you who play Magic Up will get it. He splashes water in my face and I cough. Don't be that way. I swim around him some more and laugh at how he flounders after me. He was always a terrible swimmer. I dive under the water again and swim up towards the shore, popping up about 10 feet away from Carl.
Having fun?
He's smiling, looking a lot more relaxed than he has all day. Probably because we just avoided a situation that could have gotten really ugly. To my left, Jenna and TJ are sitting on a boulder in the shallows. TJ's slacks rolled up to his knees. Him and Jenna seem to be talking, so I decide not to play the same trick on them as I did with Leo. Flynn, meanwhile, is standing up now, arms folded. For the next little while, I swim around, occasionally popping up in front of Carl or Leo, sometimes splashing them with my tail. There's a freeing feeling about finally swimming in this lake again and having so much space. Flynn, after a good 20 minutes, comes out to the shore. He leans against an old familiar boulder, watching us. There's no way for me to know how they're all feeling. If it's liberating like it is for me, Flynn's right, in a way. We can't just talk about it because there's nothing to really say. What happened, and no amount of talking can fix it. What we can do, or what I can do, at least, is move past it, is choose to move past it. And that's what I'm doing now. I just hope that's what they're feeling too. Eventually, I run out of the exhilarating energy I had that had consumed me and instead drift to the bottom of the shallows. I lay on my back against the sand, staring up at the murky glow of the sun. I feel my eyelids get heavy and I stretch out against the soft lake lead. It is, of course, a bad idea to fall asleep underwater.
No shit.
If that were to happen, though, I'd probably just try to breathe and my nose would get full of water and immediately wake up. Still, I decide that it's best to avoid that if I can and force myself to open my eyes again and swim to the surface. Except, I can't. I'm frozen. Every nerve in my body is on fire, and I struggle not to panic, to not start trying to breathe because that's what all my body wants to do. I close my eyes, will myself to be calm. Sleep paralysis only usually lasts about a minute at most for me. I can hold my breath for 8, and I've only been under for God, I have no idea. It feels like it's been a while. My chest is already starting to burn, and that usually means it's been at least 6 minutes. And this is starting to last a long time. Despite my best efforts, panic starts to set in, and it sets in quick. I start jerking my body around, trying to get something, anything to move. I don't understand why I'm not floating to the surface. I'm not trying to stay underwater. The seconds turn into minutes, and now my lungs really are burning. Something has to be holding me down. Maybe some kind of vegetation? The water begins to glow red as if blood has spread across the surface above me. I tug and pull, praying that all of this is a dream, that I'm back in Carl's room, and that at any moment I'll wake up. You thought it would be this easy? That's a good one. I try to turn my head towards the voice, which is right in my ear, even though I'm underwater. Things go silent again. At this point, I'm starting to contemplate that I might actually die. I can I can't get my body to move. None of my friends know where I'm at, and now I'm almost out of air. Bubbles flow past my lips as my lungs finally give out and blackness starts to crowd in on my vision.
Oh, that was Echo, everyone.
Graveyard.
Yeah, great. Sure. The afterlife. Just see Beetlejuice. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I didn't know you could come over here. Oh, the furries over here in the afterlife. Like, go for it, TJ.
He's waking up. My eyes open slowly, painfully, and I'm face to face with a ram, his muzzle wet from tears.
Oh my god, he is! Give him room!
I feel some rough paws supporting my back, turning me on my side.
And you'll breathe, Chess.
Now this is how you know it's serious, because he's calling him Chase instead of Chula.
Yeah.
Leo's voice is ragged next to my ear. Yeah. No, I'm fine. I sit up quickly, and a wave of dizziness threatens to topple me over again. I feel movement behind me and out of my field of vision.
No, 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 no! I can't believe this! I can't fucking believe this!
Flynn's voice is torn and ragged. I barely recognize it. Calm down, Flynn.
No! We're forced to come here, and then this shit happens.
Guys, I need to go.
DJ, Flynn, get over here.
I feel Leo's support leave me. Carl is still crouched down in front of me, though.
Oh my god, dude! What happened?
Carl's gasping the one that he's the one that was just underwater. I don't know. Carl rubs my back as I rest my head in his paws. Vaguely, I can hear more yelling behind me, and Carl looks up too. No, no, don't! Leo, help! Despite my aching head, I turn around and see Flynn chasing TJ. Grab him and throw him down into the rocks. Flynn doesn't get any further though, because Leo tackles him with such force that they fly a good 5 feet before smashing down into the rocks and sand. Leo wraps an arm around Flynn's neck and yanks up hard.
Jesus!
Carl stands up and starts gasping again. I try to, but I fall back down on my ass. Carl reaches down and helps me up.
Shit. You're not okay.
Carl steadies me, but I'm distracted with trying to see what's happening. Leo's leaning down with his muzzle right up against Flynn's head, yelling at him. Meanwhile, Jenna's crouched over TJ. Carl starts breathing heavily again, his wheezing picking up speed. I look over at him, and his eyes are glazed as if he's watching everything from afar. Oh, he's disassociating. Carl, what's wrong? I don't want him to have another panic attack. I know I should probably stay and try to help, but I feel so fucked up right now. Besides, I don't think it will help if Carl has a breakdown. I grab his arm. Let's get out of here, Carl. He looks at the scene a while longer, then turns away. Without another word, we make our way back to the car. I get in, barely noticing that I'm drenching the seat. Looking through the windshield, I see that my friends are still in the same position that we left them, except Jenna. She watches us as we pull out and keeps watching us until we're out of sight. Carl stays in his glazed state as we make the short drive back to his house. I can't give him much of my attention, though. I'm more preoccupied with the fact that something terrible just happened. Not only to me, but the entire group. Maybe this is a dream. Everything feels so surreal right now, like I'm watching all of this happen from 100 miles away.
He's disassociating now, too.
Yeah, while driving.
Yeah, while driving, that's probably not good at all. I dissociate right into a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I don't know.
I look over at Carl, but his expression is still glassy. He looks exactly how I'm feeling. What's wrong, Carl?
Oh no.
You don't. I'm cut off as a large coyote suddenly runs out into the street. But she's a good distance down the road so there's no danger of me hitting her. I watch as she tears out into the sagebrush, zigzagging, arms flailing out in all directions. Carl and I both watch her as she passes, silent. Something's happening in this town, to all of us. Once we get in the house, Carl heads straight for the stairs. Carl!
You guys back? How'd it go?
Raven's voice calls from upstairs. Ray, something's wrong.
Huh? What's wrong?
I don't answer as I walk up the stairs. Carl just disappeared down. Once I get there, he's already gone. I make my way down the stairs, and it's at this point that my headache starts to make a comeback. Carl! He's not in the basement either, but I can see the yellow light coming from the crawl space. Something, I don't know what, but something feels incredibly wrong right now. Buzzing fills my head, the ground feels unsteady, as if I'm walking on sand. Once I find Carl, we're both going to the hospital. I stumble down into the crawl space again. And again, Carl's not there. I'm greeted to the familiar row of tubs, but a stack of them have been pulled away from the wall. Carl? Carl, what? I fall silent because ahead of me is a hole. About 3 feet high and 2 feet wide. What the hell? Carl? Plaster covers the tarp around it, as if the wall had been bashed violently to create the hole. Did Carl go through it? Getting on my paws and knees, I looked into it, but the darkness is inky and so black I swear I can touch it. As I crawl forward, my mind gives a violent jolt, and I feel my head back, and I arch my head back, baring teeth as my face spasms. And then I fall, and it feels like I fall forever.
Well, that's it for Echo, everybody.
And then we all died.
And, well, here we are. You want to take a break right here?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, let's take a quick break.
No, fall.
And